Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ted and Ed TV show, the Money Connection. We appreciate you joining us. For those that are listening to us and those that are listening to us on the delayed telecast. Good morning, Ed. How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, man. Good morning, Ted. How are you doing, man? We have a lot of stuff like we do every week, every Saturday morning for our audience who is out there. We have a lot of things going on, a lot of stuff happening, and I hope that last week we had Jasmine Thurman on, and I hope that everybody enjoyed her telecast and what she had to say. And we're looking this week and stuff to have some more insightful information for our audience.
Well, yeah, we got a lot of top stories that's going on, national, international, that's going on right now, and also some local news. And it's going to affect a lot of us down the road. But the top story today is McCabe.
Andrew McCabe.
Yeah, he's out. And unbelievable, man. You know, how in the world they're going to treat an FBI public servant this kind of way and fire the man. He's worked 20 long, hard years. And now they're talking about the man cannot even get a retirement, even though, corporations don't give you a real retirement nowadays anyway. But the government still gives you a good retirement. You put in a good service. And now they're messing with this man's lifestyle. And it's wrong. That's all I can say. It's just totally wrong, in my opinion. Session, as far as I'm concerned, he's, I don't know what to say about him, man. The guy is just want to keep his job. He loves his little job that he has, but he has lost all his dignity because Trump do not respect the man because, 45 do not respect this guy, and he wants to get rid of him, and he's trying to keep his job as best he can.
Well, as you know, Ted, our president, 45, he rules by fear, and he likes to keep his people and stuff who is close to him on the pins and needles and stuff to keep their jobs. And he hired Sessions and stuff for a reason, because he can bully him. And when you allow Trump to bully you, he's going to continue to do it. And if you notice with Andrew McCabe and stuff, he never opened his mouth. He said a word, just like he said at the end here. He got to the end where he got fired, and now he's opening his mouth and saying something. Well, if he had opened his mouth back in October, he may still be there in his job or whatever, because he misread who Trump is as a president, or as a person, as a businessman, as they say. If you allow him to bully you, then he's going to do it. He's going to bully you. He's going to bully you and bully you and bully you until he just gets tired of playing with you. Just like a kid with a new toy. You keep playing with the toy and you keep throwing it around, and pretty soon you get tired of it. You need to take the toy and just throw it in the corner. Well, that's how Trump is. He throws his toys and stuff in the corner. And now you can see even with Andrew McCabe, he's already gotten rid of his Secretary of State. How can you work for a guy who is afraid to tell you that he doesn't want you to be his cabinet member, or he tells these other people to fire these other folks out there who aren't doing their job, or he allows John Kelly, his chief of staff and everything, to just bully his people all around him? You don't get a lot of results from bullying people. You get results and stuff by empowering them to do their job. If you decided that this person was good enough to handle this job, then and they're qualified and stuff for it, then you have to allow them to do what they're supposed to be doing. So I I really look at it, Jeff Sessions and stuff, as being one of Trump's toys, and he's been bullying him ever since he got into that job. And he's stayed in this job and everything because he sits down there and he goes over there and, for lack of a better word, kisses his behind. So, okay, Mr. Trump, I'm gonna.
Well, we say that in jest, but the bottom line is Session has his own agenda as well. And so he is doing his agenda in his own way because he does have certain powers that that comes with the job. So now he's doing a lot of things that's going to hurt a lot of the what we call people of color, and he's going to hurt a lot of people that and he has done things already that's going to hurt a lot of people of color. He's going around having ICE pick up people for no reason at all. They might be here illegal, but they've been here for 20, 30 years. When my understanding with President Obama, he was picking up people as well, but he was picking up people that were criminals. He sent a lot of them back from where they came from. This guy is picking up all kinds of people, breaking up families and everything. It's almost like years ago, they had, you call these things black op, where people will be just vanished. They're gone, So you got people that's been in this country for 20, 30 years, and nobody's never messed with them. They're not citizens. And yes, they're here illegal. But the bottom line is, hey, these corporations are hiring these people. These companies are hiring these people. And so they are not the enemy. The people are the enemy. Are these corporations getting cheap labor? And some of them are getting good laborers or good workers and dependable loyal workers, and they stay with them for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And which is fine, but it's illegal to be hiring people that are not legal in this country. And that is not their fault, because I'm going to tell you right now, if I was illegal, if I was a person that came from another country, I'd be doing the same thing to make my life a better, and have a better family and situation if my situation is dire, like a lot of people that come to this country. So the big deal is really the companies. These small, mid-sized companies are hiring these major corporations. They're walking around and they know they're illegal. And if they give up they can't file for rights. They can't sue. They can't complain, because if they complain, they're going to lose their job. If they ask for a raise and they tell them no, they might be working for a company for 20 years and still making $15 or $12 an hour, because they know they can't do no better.
Well, if you look at the statement and stuff that you made and stuff, Ted, about Sessions and his agenda, really, actually, that's Trump's agenda also, to get rid of the illegal immigrants and stuff in this country. He is dead set on doing that, and Sessions is carrying out his edict and stuff to do that. And that's probably one of the reasons and stuff why Sessions is still there as Attorney General. Because other than that and everything, he would probably be gone and stuff by now. So Sessions is doing what he wants him to do. But I think the bottom line and stuff with this whole thing and stuff is that he is creating some problems and stuff out there. But these states and stuff that he is attacking, you look back at California, who is a sanctuary country. They have cities, a lot of their cities and stuff, they are sanctuary cities and stuff for illegal immigrants, and they are not doing the things that the federal government wants them to do and stuff, as far as allowing the ICE people to come into their city and stuff and take their citizens and stuff away. And a lot of them are alerting the citizenry that, hey, ICE is in town. If you got some problems and stuff going on, maybe you better straighten your act up or find some other place to go to or hire to do whatever you want and need to be done. But and Sessions and stuff now has filed a case and stuff against a lot of cities there in California because they are doing this. But I really believe that he is filing a case and stuff in the constitutionality that he thinks that he's going to be able to win. But these states and stuff and everything also have rights. And you have to realize and stuff that when you start going into the judicial part of the Constitution or whatever, that these conservatives and stuff believe in states' rights, and they don't believe in the federal government. You notice that when Obama was there in the office and everything, and his Attorney General Holder started dealing with this marijuana issue and stuff as far as what these states were doing. Well, Obama, as a constitutional attorney and stuff, realized that they were treading on some very, very weak ground trying to rule these states and tell them what they couldn't and they could not do. So he kind of backed off of there and not let them do that. But you see Sessions now, he is barreling straight ahead and stuff into that thing because he doesn't understand the laws and stuff of this country, and the Constitution is what's going on. He's interpreting.
That's one of his agendas. That's one of his agendas to really penetrate the drug people that are doing, that's selling marijuana and that type of thing, because that's one of his agendas. Just like, what he did was to stop, he allowed President Obama really actually, got rid of trying to privatize prisons, the prison system. And now it's free willy-nilly now. So, he's gotten rid of that portion of it, which, we know what happens when you privatize prisons, because the people there do not have any rights. And so therefore the federal government is not overseeing that to a certain degree. They are in a certain part of it, but basically when it comes to really privatizing these prisons, those prisoners, they can work for other corporations in jail. They can't, really have no rights. The food is not really, being monitored as like it should be. The water, all kinds of conditions, health conditions, and what have you. So really, they're basically working slaves, and they are out for profit. That's what privatizing is. It's out for profit, and the board and the owners of that particular corporation is saying, how can we save money? Well, where do you think they're going to save money from? They're going to save money from not spending as much money taking care and treating the prisoners like human beings. And that's why it's such an uproar in the prison system. So he has a lot of agendas that are behind the scenes that's hurting hundreds of thousands of people, and really he's I mean, I hate to, I don't like to be calling people any kind of names and what have you, but he's really, a person that is pretty evil, in his own sly way. He's really a person that is not, he claims that he's going for the law and this and that and what have you. And it's, but you don't treat people indecent and inhumane. And that's what's happening in a lot of situations that's going on in this country. And it's basically people of color and poor white people.
Well, and getting back to Mr. Sessions and where he has come from, he originated from the South. And
yes,
you notice and stuff, Ted, that people in the South still have that mentality and stuff, whereas they know how to rule people of color. And he is from a place and stuff that is capable of doing these things without any conscience at all, because white folks, for lack of a better word, the Caucasian folks and stuff, especially here in the South, they feel that they are empowered, that they are the master race. And he has that mentality and stuff, and he grew up with it and stuff all his life. So he is probably the best person to enact a lot of these heinous things that he's doing out there to the illegal immigrants and also to the prisoners and all that. Because here in the South, if you notice and stuff, most of the prisons and stuff down here, they are poorly run places and stuff. They're like chain gangs. And most people and stuff who are there and stuff, they live and they're housing them in deplorable conditions. And then you're talking about privatizing the prisons and stuff. A lot of prisons, the county jails and stuff down here, and the state jails and stuff down here, they are privatized entities. And these private entities and stuff takes them, and they are entities and stuff that are there to create money. As you said, they're taking the federal dollars or the state dollars and stuff, and they're putting it into their friends' pockets and telling their friends that we're going to let you run these prisons. Well, there's a lot of money, Ted, in running prisons.
Oh yeah. And you know, yeah, you got all these companies. They provide the food, they provide the clothes, they provide this and all of that.
They provide they provide the visitation rights and everything for them. They control the commissary and stuff, the prisons and stuff down there. So there's a lot of money and stuff involved in that. And a lot of these companies and stuff who are in control of the prisons and stuff, they're sitting up there on the New York Stock Exchange trading stocks and stuff for them. And I've talked to a few of the people who work there inside these jails, and a lot of them and stuff are buying stock in these private organizations and stuff out there because this is a very lucrative industry and stuff. They are taking these folks' money and everything, and they're putting it into their pockets.
And just you know, and you know, we're pretty much aware of that. But the one thing, you know, and I've been reading about this thing for like 25 years, and the explosion of females that are getting put in prison for a little of nothing and staying in there for years and years. I mean, it is so many women, and now the inhumane things that are happening in there to these women, getting raped, pregnant, have to have their children and having birth by being chained, and all kind of inhumane things that are happening. And it is crazy. And my understanding, I just read an article not long ago just saying that a lot of these, even around the world, these women, they're allowing women to even take care of their children while they're in prison. So their children are in prison as well. So it's a lot of things going, you know. I mean, we got 5% of the population, but we got over 25% or more that is incarcerated in the world. You know, I mean, over 2 million people. And then you got another 5 to 7 million people in this country that's been under the penal system. And a lot of people, you know, I don't know why, you know, there are some people that have very bad behavior, but then it's a learned thing. And once you go to prison, you have to learn how to survive. And, you know, I don't know if you've talked to any, you know, a lot of prisoners, that people that's been in jail, but I have talked to a few. And I'm going to tell you, you know, you have to learn how to survive. And then you get that mentality and you take it from what you learned in the prison system, you take it to the street. And so now you're not a viable, and I'm not saying all of them aren't, but a lot of them come out and they still have that same attitude, but now it's even worse. They wasn't rehabilitated. They didn't learn a skill. A lot of them didn't learn skills. They didn't learn a profession, you know, but I mean, a lot of things are changing for the best and a lot of things are changing for the worst. But look at here. I'm going to change the subject.
I was mad. I was getting ready to talk some more about that. That was I
just want to get on this.
There's a lot of things going on, Ted, about this female prison population thing. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on,
and
man.
People
and
need
a lot
to
of
really be informed.
There are a lot of black women
Oh yeah.
and stuff now who are bringing this issue out to the public viewpoint and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
and everything about women and stuff who are in prison and stuff now. So
I
anyway, go
know.
ahead.
Yeah. But
Go ahead.
the stand on the sort of FBI, Department of Justice. I was just reading an article, just checking it out, and they were saying that Comey told 3 FBI officials about his conversation with Trump, and all 3 of them are all out now.
Right.
So, and that includes McCabe.
McCabe, right. McCabe's the last one. They had to get them out of there because Trump and his folks and stuff who are behind him feel that if they are not in a position of power, then because they understand that Robert Mueller, who is the special counsel and everything, who has his investigation going on, won't be able to use them and stuff against Trump. But you have to realize, and there's a fine line and stuff there that you have to deal with as far as putting people and stuff who can testify against you and stuff to where you can't control them. You're better off having them underneath you where you can watch them and see what they're doing. And now all those people that were there when Comey did the thing, they're out there in private areas and stuff out there. They're in the private world. And when they go into the private world, they become more dangerous and stuff to Trump than they do if he's sitting with them.
Yeah, but Comey right now has a book out. He's going to bring a book out, and he's going to go around and he's going to be speaking. And and not necessarily, I don't even think he's doing it for the money, but the money probably won't hurt him.
But everybody got books out now, Ted.
but the point is, I think he's gonna. To me, I mean, I don't know the man personally. I don't, just by reading about him and seeing him on TV, I think he has a white hat, and I think he is. He will be, he really is a patriot, and we'll see in time, what's going to come out of this because I think he knows a lot. But one of the things that I did want to bring up with all these changes that's going in the West Wing and all of these different top officials are leaving. I was reading an article this morning about one of the Bush officials said that Bolton was by far the most dangerous man he had in the entire 8 years. And Trump, 45, is talking about hiring him in a key position. And we know when he was working, and I don't know if he got fired. I don't remember if he got fired from one of the Bush organizations or whatever. I don't know if it was Bush 1 or Bush 2. But this guy has been around, and I don't know if you ever heard him talk, but he is one of those people that all he thinks about is war, takeover. That's it. So it's a lot of things behind the scenes that's going on, and we don't really know, but we know that there are countries out there that the United States or these what they call warmongers, Iran, North Korea, and China. These are the 3 countries right now in the world that they want to, take over now. And so, and this is in their mind, it's for good of democracy. It's good for, when I say democracy, it's good for capitalism. Because see, they're looking at what Iran has to offer. They're looking at North Korea and control that, and China. And China right now is one of the most up and coming, controlled economies there is, because they're using the American people so much, as far as when I say American people, are corporations, and using their skill, their knowledge, bringing in all kinds of corporations over there manufacturing companies. They're using other countries, and then they're going out and investing in other countries, especially Africa. So
let's get back to John Bolton. I'm interested. You're going way far there, and I got some
John Bolton is gonna be part of that.
questions about John Bolton and where he came from and his ideals and stuff as far as being a warmonger and the idea that Trump is thinking about bringing him into one of his cabinet level positions or being in charge of the National Security Administration or whatever. Because, he's already got.
He want to be the Secretary of State.
He's already got Secretary of State now. He's already trying to bring in what's the old guy's name who was in charge of the CIA? He's got him now. He's picked him out now to become the Secretary of State. But I think that the idea that he's trying to bring John Bolton and stuff into his cabinet or bring him into his administration in some form or factor or whatever, and the fact that John Bolton and stuff is a warmonger and a person and stuff who believes in a strong military or whatever, it bows and stuff to a different idea and stuff as to where, why and where Trump is trying to go and stuff with bringing John Bolton and stuff into his circle of friends or whatever, or people who are going to be in the public eye. And I do believe that when John Bolton was in the public eye and stuff during the Bush administration and stuff, he was a very controversial person and stuff. But if you look at everybody and stuff around Trump or whatever, and Trump and stuff being the leader that he is, I think that bringing John Bolton and stuff into that mix and stuff there with Trump and everything is going to create a lot of negative vibrations and stuff out there, because John Bolton is not the type of person and stuff to be bullied.
That's what I'm saying. He's messing with the wrong person.
He is not going to let Trump bully him. He is not going to let anything do it.
And he's going to say what he want to say.
And if Trump can't bully you and stuff, what's going to happen? You're going to be out the door. So I think that by him doing that, all it does is just prolong the agony and stuff of him trying to bring him in there and then find out that he is not the mix that he really actually wanted to be there. And we have to take that his idea that he's going to bring John Bolton into his administration and stuff with watchful eye and stuff there, because it probably not going to happen, because I don't believe that those two guys are going to be able to mix at all. Now, if he does bring him in there, I can guarantee you that he's not going to bully John Bolton. He's not going to let that happen. He's not going to be like the rest of his cabinet and stuff who was there. You look at, I'm wondering stuff right now and stuff why John Kelly and stuff, his chief of staff, is still there. I thought for sure that he would be out and stuff by now, but for some reason or another, the chief of staff there is he's not. He seems to be a little snake. He's a little snake out there, and he doesn't like Trump's daughter. He doesn't like Jared at all, but I think he's making happy and stuff with them and everything because of the fact that Trump and stuff wants to keep his family and stuff around him. And if you notice and stuff and everything that they aren't, Ivanka and Jared and stuff, they're still there in the White House. And people are asking and stuff why they are there, but well, they're there because Trump wants them there, and they still have a lot of power and stuff there in the Trump organization and stuff. A lot of power because Donald believes in his daughter advice, and he depends upon her advice and stuff. And I think a lot of the things that he is doing now and stuff and everything is because he's asking her for advice and she's telling him what he needs to do. So that's my take on Mr. John Bolton and stuff, and him coming into the administration and stuff there. I if it happens and stuff, you look for some fireworks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because this man wants to take down Iran. He wants to take down North Korea. He wants to take down China.
Absolutely. So, but you have to also realize, Ted, that Trump has to control you. And if he can't control you, he's going to get rid of you. And John's not going to let that happen.
Okay.
And you have to and a person that gives a good example of that is his UN Security Council person that he's got on there and everything. She is a very strong person. She used to be the governor of South Carolina, and she is now in the UN Security Department and stuff there. And man, she has her own agenda and stuff out there, and I think she's kind of hot in between the loops and stuff there and everything. And if Trump wasn't involved with all these other folks and everything, she might be fired too. Because I don't believe he likes what she's doing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's girlfriend. She's something else. I don't know. I don't know. She's you know, I thought that she was going to be a bad pick for the UN security person and stuff, but I think she's winding up being a very, very powerful person and stuff there.
Yeah, I agree. But now the one thing that and I really want to change the subject again, because this right here is, to me, is big. iHeartRadio is bankrupt.
Yep.
They went bankrupt.
Yep.
Over $20 billion in debt. You know, they didn't already kind of got rid of most of it, and you know, they was under Bain Capital had, you know, that was one of Rodney's deals. You know, trying to, you know, I don't think it was his deal, but his old company that he still is affiliated with. And the radio business right now is suffering at the hands of the digital age. And they control almost 850 stations.
Mm-hmm.
And iHeartRadio was real big, you know, in radio. Although there's over 15,000 in the nation, and the thing is that where does the black radio station stands right now? Because that was one of our major communications, you know, information. They're barely hanging on, man. Just like our black newspapers, you know, there's over 200 black newspapers across the country, you know, in independent ways, and people that are associated, you know, with the Black Association of Newspapers. However, our information is not getting out there to the masses, you know, because right now there's so many things that are offered to us now, you know, where you can get your news, your information, but you can't get any real black news, what's happening in the black community. We don't know. You know, a lot of us, myself included, has been living in the suburbs for 40 years or more. And, you know, we don't live in the inner city. We don't live in the black communities now. We live in, you know, multicultural neighborhoods now. And the black community is still there. If you go into certain neighborhoods, all you're gonna see is a flood of black people, you know, and the thing is, we don't know what's going on in the black community, because there are really very few businesses that are in the black community, very few things that's going on as far as that, but a lot of organizations are trying to uplift the black community right now, and a lot of people are getting involved, but when your main communications, your radio stations, your newspapers, what do you do? I mean, I'm sort of kind of, taken back because, see, these two entities rely on advertising dollars. That's what they rely on. And if you don't have sustainable income that's coming in to keep your capital going, to keep your business afloat, I mean, you can only subscribe to, have so many subscriptions and make so much money on subscriptions. That's not really where you make your money. You make your money in advertising dollars. You can't make your whole money on radio by just doing promotions and what have you. You have to have advertising dollars. And a lot of the mid corporations and major corporations are not spending those dollars that we spend comparatively as consumers into the black media where we can get good information. So I want to just put that out there.
It's ironic and stuff, Ted, that you talked about them, because I had read an article and stuff about iHeart and why they went bankrupt and what was going on. And they, according to what we are doing, they have over $20 billion of outstanding debt.
Yep.
And I think that probably what happened and stuff during that whole process and stuff is iHeart, when they started taking on all of these 850 some radio stations and stuff out there, they also took on their debt also. And when you start taking over a radio station, if you go back and you look at our financial guru there in Nebraska, when he took over his company and everything, he always told them to, when you take over something or when you're looking at an entity that you want to bring under your umbrella so you can bring money and stuff to your pocket, you have to look at them and stuff and find out that they have to have a moat system and stuff around them, whereas you have to become self-sufficient. You can't be dependent upon future profits and stuff or future income. You have to have an income that you know that's going to be coming in no matter what. And that's how he deals with acquiring companies, having monies and stuff that you know that you're going to have for a long, long, long time, that you're going to continue to bring this stuff in. And some of these radio stations and stuff that iHeart bought on weren't capable of having their own income. And that created a lot of problems and stuff for them, because when the income of half of those radio stations fell off, they had to keep on paying their staff. They had to keep on, keeping their equipment and stuff up and all that. And that created a debt and stuff on iHeart. And over a period of time and stuff, if you don't stop that, then you're gonna become a company like iHeart with a $20 billion in outstanding debt and going bankrupt, because you can't continue to function like that. So I think that they have to accept part of that responsibility and stuff for what they did. And getting back to our media and stuff, a lot of those companies and those stations that iHeart took over, Cumulus Radio, they call them and stuff, they are black stations and stuff here in the South and in the Midwest and everything. So they bring in a lot of advertising dollars, but they don't bring in a whole lot of advertising dollars. So it's a very, very touchy situation out there when you start talking about radio and what's going on there, and how radio and stuff, it may or may not be a viable entity in which you want to invest a lot of money and stuff into.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. And but the point is that that's one of our main communications hookup, as far as what's going on in the black community. Even when I lived way outside of Chicago, when I wanted to know some news, I turned to WVON and
You talking a long time ago, Ted. you talking in the 20th century. We had
but you know what I'm saying. That was the way that you got news.
It
And
was.
and you got information on what was going on. And now you have to really dig to find out. Like I told you, I mean, we had this conversation not long ago, talking about in detail about the black newspaper. And if I want to know something what's going on, I have to go to on the website to each one of those newspapers. If I want to know what's going on in Baltimore, if I want to know what's going on in LA, I have to go and look at those newspapers on the website to find out what's going on in those cities. In Detroit, same thing, because we're not finding out what's going on. And there's a lot of things that's going on in each one of these cities, but nobody's talking to nobody. But you got these organizations that's national, NAACP. You got the other organizations that's out there, but I don't think a lot of the African American people are being informed of what's really happening and what's available. So I wanted to sort of kind of take off on that. But now one of the things, changing the subject, that really is a hot button right now is cyber warfare.
That's another hot button item out there, Ted. A very, very hot button out there. And I don't know if our viewers and stuff are really realizing what's going on when you start talking about cyber security. It touching us deeply and stuff into our economy, especially people out there of color, people who don't know what's going on, older people. And it is touching now, reaching into our utility systems and stuff now, where these Russians and stuff now, they have these bots out there that are going on that has already infiltrated our election system. They've gotten into our utility companies and stuff. They've gotten into our electrical grid, and they're able, and our nuclear reactor systems and stuff out there that controls our power and stuff that goes on here, that takes care of a lot of our power grid and stuff around here. And when you have a outside entity that is able to control your country and stuff by your utilities and stuff, man, that is a big, big, big deal. And it is something that we need to really start putting our hands up on and getting a real good hold and stuff on it, because right now and stuff, Ted, we're spending close to $1 trillion and stuff in our national defense and our military and tanks and planes and all that. Well, warfare today is no longer on the battlefield. Our warfare today is in the cloud, and we are not realizing that cloud and stuff out there is going to become a battlefield that we are quickly losing that battle if we don't start doing something about what's going on out there. And there is a huge, huge, huge shortfall and stuff in there, because a lot of your companies out there who control all these companies and stuff there, these grid systems and stuff, and the electrical power systems and whatever's going on out there, their mechanism for doing that has gotten so old that they have no way of combating these people who are coming in and hacking their systems.
That's because you got all of these old people that's been on their job, and I'm not knocking that are not continually keeping up with all the different kinds of technology that's going on. And they get these people that's got these career jobs that's been working there for 20, 25, 30 years. And instead of bringing in these younger people that are engineers, that's technology savvy, and now you got people now that's just, oh, we don't know what to do. What kind of craziness is that? When we're talking about our water, we're talking about our electric, we're talking about all kinds of things that need to be secure, because we know that this, they've been talking about this stuff for 5-10 years, man. All kinds of things that's been going on as far as upgrades and that kind of thing. So this is not new. This is not new. This is something that they've been kicking down the curb, down the road for years. I remember reading an article 2 or 3 years ago when President Obama was in office. he was trying to get a $19 billion budget for cybersecurity, and I don't even think it got approved. Because they didn't want to spend the money.
Well, they're going to have to spend that money, Ted, because and even if you do bring in your younger people and stuff who are able to do those things, the problem and stuff comes and stuff is that these companies and stuff out there, especially utility companies and all these other places, do not have the budget to upgrade their systems. And was one of the things that when Obama decided that he wanted to have that money, he wanted to give this money to a lot of these utility folks and stuff to help them to upgrade their security systems and stuff. So even if you bring younger people and stuff in there, if your system is not up to par, you can't fight them anyway. They can't fight them. When I was speaking about older people and stuff being hacked, I was talking about on their computer systems at their homes. If you notice and stuff, the cyber crimes against seniors and stuff and people who don't know anything about it is on the uprise. I have people and stuff in my family and stuff who have been going through that, and they get on their computers and stuff now. What's going on now is that people they access a lot of these websites and they have no idea what's going on their website. When they access their website and stuff has access to their computer system. So what they do is that they go in and they shut down these people's personal computers. And once they shut them down, they have a pop-up coming up there. Call Microsoft, you got a problem, and they'll give them a number on there, and they'll dial that number in there, and they'll tell them and say, yep, there's something wrong with your system and stuff. Give us your credit card number and everything, because we're going to charge you $199 and stuff because to fix your system, because that's the only way you can do it. And people are doing that. And they're getting so sophisticated now and stuff that they're accessing these individuals, these older citizens' bank accounts, and they're taking money and stuff out of their bank accounts and stuff and putting it into their pocket. They're ripping them off. They're hacking into them. That's what I mean by them dealing with citizens.
Well, yeah, they've been doing that. Yeah, they've been doing that for years now. As far as that goes, and all kinds of little shenanigans of people taking money. They bribing small businesses the same way, in all kinds of ways where they can go into businesses and penetrate their computer, and they say, well, you're gonna have to pay this if you want it back on and all that. And so what they're gonna do? They're gonna pay the $10,000 or $20,000, whatever they want, so they can get their system back. But the point is what I'm trying to make is that when you are spending $1 trillion or more for security, and you putting everybody in jail that breaks a window, or you got a half an ounce of marijuana, and you're getting rid of all your talent, potential talent. When you don't invest in education to improve education and people's way of life, then you're destroying the country. So there are people that are basically, in my mind, and we're going to talk about the Russian situation that's going on. There are sales and you got all kinds of people that's working for the government, the state, the county. You got all these different kinds of people that's working, and a lot of them are trying to sabotage America. You got people, don't forget now, the Chinese haven't forgotten what we've done to them. They still remember that kind of stuff. And so they're looking at, that's the reason why they're buying up a lot of these companies. We heard about what Jared was doing, and he made the deal with with Japan. So the point is that we, America, and I'm not talking about the American people, but a lot of the American oligarchs or the American government has done so much in order to spread democracy out throughout the world, which is a good thing. But the way they did it, to me, was just not quite the right way. But the bottom line is that they've done so much so wrong, so many years, the last 50 especially, and now they have realized that, hey, what you just said, you don't need to have the weapons now. You got computers now, man. You can You can do all kinds of things to penetrate. And then you got these people that come in these countries deliberately come in to sabotage the American people. And that's what's happening right now. You got so many people that's come in here to sabotage. They live just like they're Americans. You wouldn't even know them if you knew, if you looked them in the eye, that they were people that was trying to destroy part of the cell that's trying to destroy this country.
And that was my point and stuff too that I was trying to make, that this cybersecurity thing is becoming so dangerous and stuff to our society that it's not going to matter about our educational system. It's not going to matter about us making money. It's not going to matter about our jobs and stuff when you having people who are capable of coming over there and shutting down your whole security system and stuff that you have, shutting down your utility systems and stuff and everything, and it's totally destroying your country. We can see what the heck happened and stuff in 2008 when they had that financial crisis going on. What if they went over there and they used their cyber hacking and stuff and everything and hacked into our financial systems and everything, and they completely destroyed it? It will destroy this country. So those trillions of dollars that I'm speaking of that they are putting into the military and stuff needs to go right now, first and foremost, into this cyber warfare thing. And once we get rid of that, take control of that cyber warfare thing and start controlling our, helping to make our country safe and everything, then we can start talking about putting that money and stuff, like you said, into making sure we got better schools and education, and taking away these student debt and stuff that's out there that has already went over $1 trillion and stuff and everything, as far as our children are concerned. So spend that money instead of putting almost $1 trillion in the military. Start spending that money wisely, and and one of those is dealing with cybersecurity, because that is going to that could totally destroy this country, and once that happens and stuff, we don't have any more.
Well, you know, I mean, you want a disaster to happen, and then you finally wake up and say, "Oh, wow, we should have did this, and we should have did that, or we could have did this, or whatever." You know, because right now, to my understanding, then they can go in and destroy the stock market. You know,
they can do it right now. Absolutely.
Yeah. And, you know, or they can shut down the whole city or two cities.
Absolutely.
So, you know, but let's change the subject. We only got a few more minutes.
Yep.
Oh, good old Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
She said, "Hey, he said, I don't know what's gonna happen to me, but I'm gonna make me some money." She said, "Forget all this. I'm not gonna be low key." Now she could have been low key, had $130,000 and just shut up and gone and about her business. But she said, "No, wait a minute." And she decided to get into the fray, bro. And not only that, she's making money on her fame, because I heard on TV last week sometime, she said, "Well, I used to get a little call every once a month, but now I'm getting 3 or 4 calls a month now to go dance, just to dance." Do you realize she probably charged them $10, $15, maybe $20,000 a pop?
Yeah,
just to dance. We ain't even talking about her movies.
That's chump change right now. Because if you listen to her attorney and stuff last night when Trump went ahead, and finally now this thing is getting closer and closer and closer to him, and by him filing that case and stuff there against her, it is bringing all of this stuff to front stage here and everything, and it is causing him all kinds of problems and stuff out there that he does not want to happen. And when you have an attorney and stuff that tells you that his suit for $20 million and stuff ain't nothing, then you know that there is a lot of money out there and everything to be made, Ted. We looking at that woman got a chance of probably pulling in, somebody probably paid that $20 million and stuff and everything, and say, okay, that's all you sued her for, $20 million. We're going to pay it off and everything, and we're going to advertise this stuff, because I believe this woman got pictures. I believe she got, she can tell you everything about Donald Trump's private parts. And there's a lot of money to be made out there, Ted, by her doing this. A lot of money.
Oh yeah.
A lot of money. And I think Donald would have been better off and everything, just paying that woman whatever she wanted to shut her up and get her the hell out of his daggone
he don't believe in that. He don't believe in that unless he's forced to. He doesn't believe in paying nobody no money, bro.
Well, he paid her $130,000, Ted. He paid her $130,000.
Wait a minute. Didn't this lawyer say that I haven't got paid yet? I haven't got paid my money back yet.
Well, Ted, I don't believe that. I believe Trump and already done paid him a hell of a lot more than $130,000. If he's still his lawyer, he'd have paid him a lot more than that, because lawyers are not going to let you get away with not paying them money. I'm telling you that. If you owe them some money, you're going to pay them. He's probably been paid up front. But
I don't know what's going to happen to this lady. She seemed like a very nice person. Despite her profession.
She is going to have a huge payday, Ted.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to her, man.
Huge
her
payday.
Life has been threatened. Her life has been threatened, man.
She's going to have a huge payday. Her attorney is looking for a nice payday. Because there are people out there, Ted, who are willing to pay that $20 million. She went online, Ted, and my wife, I didn't know about this. My wife told me about this yesterday, that she went online and asked people to help her to pay for her defense attorney, her attorney and stuff, for her fees and stuff there for her attorney. And within 24 hours, she had already got $130,000 that they sent in to her.
Well,
within one day.
Yeah.
$130,000 came into her coffer to pay her attorney fees. So somebody out there and everything is willing to give that woman a lot of money for what she knows. A lot of money to put some more crimps in Donald Trump's side. And now we can see just a little bit of what Putin and those Russians, because you notice that those Russians and stuff, anything that happened with those Russians, Donald does not say anything against them, because they got something on him, and it's got to be bigger than what Stormy Daniels got on him. Because now he is attacking her, whereas before he wasn't saying anything, but now that she's becoming more and more out there and stuff, and she became more into the spotlight and everything, now he's attacking her. But before that, he wasn't attacking her. He wasn't saying anything. I guess he was hoping that way, if I shut my mouth, maybe she'll go away, but she hasn't went away. So she's got just this one incident and stuff going on with him. So evidently, he is avoiding these Russians just like the plague. So they must have a lot more on him than she does.
Well, it's all a mystery right now. You know, we try to read between the lines. We don't know really what's going on to a certain degree, but then at the same time,
something is going on, Ted, and we're talking about some real ugly stuff that he does not want to get out. This woman knows a lot about Donald that he doesn't want people to know about. So
only time will tell.
Stormy Daniels, that's going to be a household name. You know, when they talk about Clinton, they talk about Monica Lewinsky. You say Clinton, Monica Lewinsky comes in. Now it's going to be, when you say Trump, you're going to say Stormy. Oh man, we're getting to the end of our telecast and stuff here. We all at this hour mark here, so I'm kind of sad to say that we're going to have to get out of here. So anything else, Ted, you want to bring up before we close this thing up?
We're done, bro, because we can go to another hour, like I said.
I know we can. There's a lot of stuff, man. I've been writing while you've been talking there, man. I got a lot of stuff sitting out there that I wanted to talk about.
It's like, wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So anyway, to our audience out there, we hope that you enjoyed our telecast today. And we're looking for you to come back next Saturday. We'll see you next Saturday. I'll be out of town and stuff, but I will be doing a telecast from Chicago next week.
All right.
Yeah, so
it should warm up by then, you know.
not in Chicago.
Well, I feel sorry for you, bro.
I know, but I gotta go. I gotta go there. We got my wife wants me to go up there. She's got some things going on, and we haven't been to Chicago in a while. We got family up there. We got kin folks and stuff who need our help. She got an uncle up there that wants to get out of the nursing home. We got to rescue him from the nursing home.
Hey. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Do what we gotta do. We already got him out there one time, and they put him back in there again.
Hey, what they say? Yeah, like my mama used to say, you know, getting old, you know, ain't for sisters.
Okay, people. We'll see you next week then.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.